Hi there, I'm Shane Spiers, and welcome to another edition of the Performance Brief, where we give you one breakthrough business idea in just 5 minutes. My guest today is Danny Creed. Danny, a very warm welcome. How are you today, and where are you today?
I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, where our winter is 72 degrees. So
That,
we're in a cold wave.
right. Still warmer than here, I can assure you. Brilliant. For those of you that don't know him, real world master business coach Danny Creed is a business coach and consultant, author, and international keynote and workshop speaker. Coach Dan has over 14,000 logged coaching and consulting hours and has been involved with 14 successful startup businesses and over 400 business turnaround projects. Wow. He is the unprecedented six-time recipient of the Focal Point International Business Coach of the Year and Brian Tracy Award of Sales Excellence. Wow, that's brilliant.
And I don't have any here. So.
Brilliant. Danny, the subject of our interview today is the 5 fundamental skills of success, and we have 5 minutes for the interview. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Great. I'll start the clock. So let's start. What's the hardest part of success?
Well, the hardest part of success, I believe, is the discipline required to be successful. There's a reason why about 90% of all businesses started today will be broken 2 years. It's mostly because people don't have the discipline to do the foundational elements necessary. I've had the fortune of being around people like Zig Ziglar and Brian Tracy and some of the great thinkers and business developers. And they all will say that, the hardest part of being successful is doing the little things that's necessary before you can do any of the fancy stuff.
Right. So is there a true secret to the highly successful?
Yes, I think that there's a recipe, Shane. I think there's a recipe for success, and it doesn't change where you're at. It doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change what part of the world you're in. It doesn't change what the economy is. That there is a recipe that applies across the board to any kind of business. And again, I say that you have to have a strength in this foundation. Zig Ziglar used to say that the similarity of a 40-story building and a three-bedroom house is that without a strong foundation, they'll both fall over. Mm-hmm. And I believe the same thing applies to a business, that there are about 13 different elements of this foundational recipe. And I thought today we could go over very quickly about 5 or so of these items, if that's okay.
Yeah, brilliant. Please do.
Yeah, so number one, with the time we have, number one, I believe, is attitude. The Carnegie Foundation says that there are 3 elements of success. The first is attitude, the second is skill, and the third is knowledge. And skill and knowledge represent only 15% of that. So attitude represents 85% of our success ratio, and we could get into a long conversation on this. In fact, I have an exercise I do in many of my workshops that just blows you away, but it shows very vividly that attitude makes it all. In fact, today, Shane, I believe that there is no reality in our business world. There's only the perception of reality.
Right.
And when we talk about the perception of reality, that means people are going to be evaluating you by what they see on the internet. And when you walk into a room, they're going to see how you walk, talk, smile, how you hold yourself, how confident you are. Attitude is a big piece of success. And if you think positive, you think confident, then you're going to produce an aura, if you will, around potential clients and people that you want to trust you. Yeah. The second thing is, I believe, decisiveness. And I've spent a lot of years working with people, and I can't tell you how many people have not yet go into business, but they've not yet made the decision to be successful. Mm. I'm sure you hear this all the time, but again, there's a reason why 90% of the businesses born today will be broken 2 years. And I believe it's people who are great technicians. They understand what they're doing. They love the work that they're doing, but they don't know how to be a business person. They haven't fully engaged in being successful. It's the difference between once again, it's a difference between surviving and thriving.
Yeah.
Have you ever met anybody that you said, "Hey, how you doing?" and they go, "Well,
Yeah.
I'm making it." I mean, my first book, I asked a guy about goals, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I got goals." And I said, "What's your goals?" And I'll squeeze this down. But he goes, "Oh yeah, I get up in the morning and I think about my goals, and I go to work and I eat and sleep thinking about these goals." And I said, "What's your major goal?" He goes, "I go to work every day with the goal to break even."
Right. Yeah.
And I went,
So we've got 1 minute left, Danny. Just on the next three.
Huh? Yes. The third is hard work. And I've got a note on this, but many people will say 85% of success happens within 60 hours. Working 40 hours is just for survival, is just to make it, to pick up a check.
Yeah.
So you've got to make a decision that you're willing to work at. The fourth is self-discipline. I know Zig Ziglar used to say, if you're hard on yourself, life will be easy on you. Mm-hmm. You got to have the willingness, Shane, to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
You've got to master the self-discipline. And I call discipline, and I love this definition, doing what you must do when you need to do it, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
The fifth is setting priorities. I'm very, very big in my working with my clients on time management and, more importantly, priority management. If you start your day performing the highest consequence task, research shows that the rest of your day you're going to work at a much higher level. And I think that's just really important. I'm not saying the hardest thing, the worst thing, the nastiest thing. I'm saying what has the highest consequence.
Yeah.
And if you can understand what that high consequence is, then you can build from the most important thing in the morning.
Danny, that's brilliant. Thank you for that insight. Folks, the link to Danny's webpage will be below the video, but it's www.realworldbusinesscoach.com. Danny, brilliant. Thank you very much.